Good morning, children. Okay, today we're going to begin with the next exercise 4.3. Okay, in the last class, I had explained to you how you can solve the equation without adding the number, adding or subtracting the number in the left-hand side and right-hand side, right? I told you when you shift the number from your left-hand side to the right-hand side, that process is called as transposing. Okay, transposing the number from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. Okay, now in this exercise for the first main, this is what we're going to do. Now I want you to take down the question. First one, 2y plus 5 by 2 is equal to 37 by 2. This you're going to solve by transposing the number from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. Okay, so how do we do that here? In order to separate the variable, first you need to transpose. First you need to get rid of the number that is there, right? So what do? First, we will keep 2y the same way. We cannot do the changes to 2y unless and until we remove this 5 by 2. Okay, so what are we going to do? This plus 5 by 2, when it comes to the other side, to the right-hand side, the sign will change, right? I have already informed you that in the previous class. Okay, so the first step will be, you will write down transpose. Transpose, what are you going to transpose? You're going to transpose 5 by 2. Okay, so you're going to write transpose 5 by 2 from LHS to RHS. Okay, from the left hand side, you're going to transpose it to the right hand side. So let us do that. Now we're going to keep 2y the same way. Okay, so is equal to, write down the number that is already given here, that is 37 by 2. When plus 5 by 2 comes to the right hand side, it becomes minus 5 by 2. Correct? Okay, so when the sign will change, when it comes from the left hand side, when you shift the number to the right hand side, the sign changes. Now in class 6, you have learned addition and subtraction of fractions, right? So here in fractions, if the denominator is the same, you all can subtract, correct? Okay, so here 37. Okay, so how will you write? You will say 2y is equal to, since the denominator is the same, I'm going to write 2 below, and then here you have 37 minus this 5. Okay, now 2y is equal to 37 minus 5 is 32 divided by 2. Okay, now we're going to simplify this. 2 1s are 2, 2 16s are 32. Okay, hope all of you have understood till here. Okay, now next step, write down 2y is equal to 16. Correct? Once you simplify this, you will get 2y is equal to 16. Now you still have, y still has a coefficient here, right? So we need to separate y from 2. So how would you do that? Now here the sign between 2 and y is multiplication, correct? So when you transpose 2 from left hand side to right hand side, what will the sign change to? It will change to division. Okay, so which means you will say, write down transpose 2 from LHS to RHS. Okay, so when you transpose this 2 from LHS, that is from your left hand side to the right hand side, this will come to the denominator, which means you will write y is equal to 16. When 2 comes this side, it will come to the denominator, which is divided by 2. Okay, now simplify this. 2 1s are 2, 2 8s are. So your value of y is equal to 8. This is your answer. Okay, hope all of you have understood this sum. Now we move on to the second one. Okay, the second sum is 5t plus 28 is equal to 10. Okay, the second sum is 5t plus 28 is equal to 10. Now the same steps that you're going to follow here. You're first going to transpose 28 from your left hand side to right hand side. So when you transpose that, remember you need to change the sign as well. Okay, so you will write transpose 28 from LHS to RHS. Okay, you're going to transpose this 28. That is, you're going to shift 28 from left hand side to right hand side. So what will it become? You will write 5t is equal to, first you have to write down whatever number is there on the right hand side. So 10 will come the same way. When plus 28 shifts to the right hand side, it will become minus 28. Okay. Now here the signs are different, which means you're going to do the simple subtraction. So you will write here 5t is equal to, do the simple subtraction, 10 minus 28, or 28 minus 10 is how much? It is 18, and the sign of the greater number, which is minus. Okay, so 5t is equal to minus 18. Okay, but still still the variable is not separated, right? You still have a 5 attached to it. So you need to transpose even 5 from the left hand side to the right hand side. So again, write down transpose 5 from LHS to RHS. Okay, so which means this will become t is equal to, like you all know, the sign between 5 and t is multiplication sign. So when 5 is shifted to the right hand side, it will come to the division side, which means it will be minus 18 divided by 5. Okay, since you cannot simplify this further, this would be your answer. So the value of t is equal to minus 18 by 5. Okay, hope all of you have understood this. Okay, from the third sum, I'm not going to write this transposing. The sentence transpose the number from your LHS to RHS. It is understood. This is what you're doing when you simplify the sums. Okay. Now moving on to the third one. Next one, C. You have a by 5 or a divided by 5 plus 3 is equal to 2. Okay, so your first step, you need to transpose the whole number here, which is the whole number here. You need to transpose plus 3 to RHS. So when you transfer the number, when you shift the number from LHS to RHS, do not forget your signs. You need to change the sign. Okay, so this becomes a by 5 is equal to 2 plus 3. When it comes to right hand side, it becomes minus 3. Okay, now again, a by 5 is equal to 2 minus 3. Signs are different. Do a simple subtraction and put the sign of the greater number. Okay, so 3 minus 2 is 1, and the sign of the greater number minus. So a by 5 is equal to minus 1. Okay, but a is still not separated. The variable still has a number or coefficient to it, right? Okay, so we need to eliminate even 5. So how do you do that? Transpose 5 to the right hand side. And here the sign between a and 5 is what? It is division. Okay, so because it has division sign, what would you do? When it moves to the right hand side, it changes to multiplication. Okay, so a is equal to minus 1 into 5. When 5 comes this side, it becomes multiplication. So the value of a is equal to minus into plus is minus, 1 into 5 is 5. Okay, this is your answer for the third sum. Okay, now next, fourth one. Okay, fourth one, q by 4 plus 7 is equal to 5. Okay, this sum is very similar to the third one, to the C sum. So q by 4 plus 7 is equal to 5. So first we are going to transpose 7 from left hand side to right hand side. So let us do that. Q by 4 is equal to right hand side, the 5 has to remain the same way. Now when plus 7 shifts to the right hand side, it becomes minus 7. Okay, so once it becomes minus 7, now do your simple subtraction and put the sign of the greater number. Q by 4 will remain Q by 4. 5 minus 7 is minus 2. Okay, 7 minus 5 is 2 and sign of the greater number minus. Okay, now we still have 4 here. Okay, so we need to separate even 4 from the variable. So how do you do that? 4 is in the denominator, which means q is divided by 4. So when it comes to the right hand side, it changes to multiplication. So q is equal to minus 2 into 4. Correct? Okay, so when you multiply minus into plus is minus 2 4s are 8. Okay, so your answer is the value of q is minus 8. Please do not get mixed up with your signs. The signs are very, very important. Okay, so please make sure that you multiply even the signs. So with this, we finish the 4th sum. Now next, moving on to the 5th one. Okay, next 5th sum. 5 by 2x is equal to minus 5. Okay, this you can do it in 2 ways. Okay, first way, you all know last year you have learned fractions, right? Okay, now when here the sign between 5 and x is 5, you can write it this way also, 5x by 2 is equal to minus 5, correct? Okay, which means 2 is in the denominator. So what do? You're going to take this 2 to the other side. That is, you're going to transpose 2 from left hand side to right hand side. So when you transpose this, what will it become? 5x is equal to minus 5 into 2. Correct? Okay. So here, write down 5x is equal to minus 10. Minus into plus is minus. 5 into 2 is 10. Okay, now you still have 5 attached to x. Correct? So you need to separate even 5. So what do you do here? Now here, the sign between 5 and x is multiplication, which means when you have a number which is multiplied on the left hand side, when you shift the number or transpose the number to the right hand side, it goes to the denominator, which means x is equal to minus 10 divided by 5. Okay, so 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are. So the value of x is equal to minus 2. Okay, this is one method of doing. Okay, where you transpose one number at a time. Okay, but since this is a fraction, there is another way of doing it. Okay, hope all of you have taken this down. I'll even show you the next method. Okay, here you have 5 by 2. Can also be written as 5 by 2 into x is equal to minus 5, correct? So here this fraction is multiplied to the variable. So when this fraction has to shift or transpose to the right hand side, it will go to the division sign, which means x is equal to minus 5 divided by 5 by 2, correct? You're dividing it. This can also be written as x is equal to minus 5. You can put the division sign and then write 5 by 2. Correct? Okay. Now, when this division sign changes to multiplication, so what will you do? Minus 5 into, when you multiply, you have to write the reciprocal of 5 by 2. What is the reciprocal of 5 by 2? The numerator comes to the denominator and the denominator goes to the numerator, which means you would write into 5 by 2. Okay, here 5 ones are 5, 5 ones are 5, gets cancelled. So the value of x is equal to minus into plus is minus and 2. Okay, This is another method of doing the same problem. Okay, hope all of you have understood. If you have not understood, you can go through the video once again. Okay, now next we move on to the next sum. Okay, next F, you have 5 by 2x is equal to 25 by 4. Okay, this is the sixth one. This is the sixth sum. So here we will do the second method what we did for the fifth one. Okay, so here you will say, you all know that the sign between 5 by 2 and x is multiplication, correct? So when you transpose 5 by 2, when you transpose this fraction to the right hand side, it becomes it becomes division. So which means x is equal to 25 by 4, the whole thing divided by 5 by 2. Correct? Okay. Now what will you do here? Instead of putting the division sign here, I'm going to put the division sign on top so that it is easier. Okay. You have 25 by 4. I'm just putting the division sign, writing. It's the same thing only. Okay. Whether I put the division sign here or whether I write it like this, it means the same. Okay. So here, like I told you in the previous sum, when this division sign changes to multiplication, you have to write the reciprocal of this number, which means you will say x is equal to 25 by 4 into 2 by 5. Okay. Now simplify. 2 1s are 2, 2 5s are 25, 2 1s are 2, and 2 2s are 4, which means the value of x is equal to 5 by 2. This is your answer. Okay, hope all of you have understood even the sixth sum. Okay, now moving on to the next one, seventh one. Next seventh sum, G. You have 7m plus 19 by 2 is equal to 13. Okay, you have 7m plus 19 by 2 is equal to 13. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to transpose the fraction 19 by 2 from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So here you have plus 19 by 2, which means when you transpose this number to the right-hand side, it will become minus 19 by 2. Okay, so we will write 7m is equal to, right hand side you already have 13, write the number the same way. Okay, now plus becomes minus 19 divided by 2. Okay, you all know how to add and subtract the fractions, correct? You already learned this in a previous class. Now here you have 19 by 2 and here you have 13 by 1. It is understood if it's a whole number, it means it is divided by 1. Okay, so when you have two different denominators, you cannot do the addition or subtraction, right? So what should you do? You have to find the LCM. LCM is the least common factor or the lowest common factor. So what is the lowest common factor? It is the number 2. Okay, which means you're going to write 7m is equal to 1 into what will give you 2? It is the number 2. Okay, so numerator and denominator, both you have to multiply with the same number, which means 13 into 2 divided by 1 into 2 minus, now you already have the denominator 2, which means you're just going to multiply by 1. So it would be 19 into 1 divided by 2 into 1. So here 7m is equal to 13 2s are 26 divided by 2 minus 19 ones are 19 divided by 2. Okay. Now here you have both the denominators same, which means you can add or subtract. So 7m is equal to 26 minus 19, the whole thing divided by 2, because both the fractions have the same denominator. Okay. Now, so here when you subtract 26 minus 19, okay, so 26 minus 19 is how much? 26 minus 19, it is 7. Okay, 7 divided by 2. Okay, hope all of you have understood this. Okay, so you have 7 divided by 2. So here you still have to separate the variable m. So how will you separate? The sign between 7 and m is 7 into m, which means it is multiplication. When you transpose 7 to the right hand side, it will change to division. Okay, so you will write m is equal to 7 by 2 divided by 7. Correct? Because it's a fraction, that is why I've directly put the division sign here. Now, in order to change this, when you change this to multiplication, this can also be written as 7 by 1. Okay, so when you change this to multiplication, you will say m is equal to 7 by 2 will remain the same into, you will write the reciprocal of 7 by 1, which is 1 by 7. Okay, remember 7 can also be written as 7 by 1. That is why when you reciprocate it, it becomes 1 by 7. Now, when you simplify 7 ones are 7, 7 ones are 7. So the value of m is equal to 1 by 2. So this is your answer. Okay, answer for the 7th sum is m is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, hope all of you have understood this. Okay, now we move on to the next one. Okay, next H, you have 6z plus 10 is equal to minus 2. Okay, so how will you do this? This is a simple one, like the way you have done the initial sum. So first transpose plus 10 to the right hand side, it changes to minus 10. So first we'll transpose this. So you have 6z is equal to minus 2. When plus 10 comes to this side, it will become minus 10. Correct? So here 6z, since the signs are the same, you will add the number and put the same sign. So 2 plus 10 is 12. And since both the signs are the same, you will put minus. Okay, now you have 6 still attached to the variable. So you need to transpose 6 to the other side. And the sign between 6 and z is multiplication, which means when you shift 6 from left hand side to right hand side, it will come to the denominator, which means z is equal to minus 12. 6 will come down, which is divided by 6. So 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are, so the value of z is equal to minus 2. Okay, hope all of you have understood even H. Okay, now we'll move on to the next one. Okay, next I, you have 3l divided by 2 is equal to 2 by 3. 3l divided by 2 is equal to 2 by 3. Okay, so here we are just going to, we'll move one number at a time. Okay, so here you have 3l. 2 is in the denominator, which means when it moves to this side, it will become multiplication, which means 3l is equal to 2 divided by 3 into 2. Correct? Okay, so 3l is equal to 2 2s are 4 divided by 3. Correct? Now we need to separate even l. So how will you do that? You have multiplication sign, which means this will come to the denominator, which means it is equal to 4 divided by 3 into this 3. Okay, this 3 is this and this 3 comes this side. So the value of L is equal to 4 divided by 9. Okay, you can either do this way or directly bring the fraction this side, which means your second step will be L is equal to, you have 3 by 2. 3 by 2, when you bring 3 divided by 2, when you bring the fraction this side, it will become, you already have 2 by 3 here, correct? We'll put a division sign and write 3 by 2. Okay, because it has to come to the denominator. So I'm just putting the division sign. So when you change the division sign to multiplication, you have to write the reciprocal of this number, which means L is equal to 2 by 3 into 2 by 3. So L is equal to 2 2s are 4, 3 3s are 9. Okay, you still get the same answer, whichever way you do it. Okay. You can write any one method. Do not write both. Understand both the methods, but you can write any one method in your classwork. Okay, now next one, the last sum for this question, you have J. You have 2b divided by 3 minus 5 is equal to 3. Okay, so first we need to transpose minus 5 to the right hand side, which means this will be 2b divided by 3 is equal to, write this number the same way, and minus 5 when it comes to the right hand side, it becomes plus 5. Okay, so 2b by 3 is equal to 8. Correct? Next, bring 3 to the other side. So 3, it's in the denominator, which means when it comes to the right hand side, it will change to multiplication. So 2b is equal to 8 into 3. Okay? So 2b is equal to 8 3s are 24. Okay? Now you still have a coefficient attached to the variable. You need to remove this. You need to separate this as well. Okay, so here you have multiplication, which means when you move 2 from the left hand side to right hand side, it goes to the denominator, or you need to change it to division. So which means b is equal to 24 divided by 2. Okay, 24 divided by 2. 2 ones are 2. 2 12s are. So the value of b is equal to 12. This is your answer. Okay. Hope all of you have understood this main. Complete this main and then you will send your notes to my personal number. Complete it and you will send. Okay. Thank you, children. Hope all of you have understood. If you have any doubt, do send me a message. I will reply back to you. Okay. Thank you, children.